Hey everyone! Today I'll be reviewing the RF Kronshtadt, which is currently the newest battleship in the game that you can purchase in the Arena of Chaos event. As usual, we'll go over its stats, firepower, survivability, and usage tips, and at the end, I'll share my final opinion on this ship. Here are the fully upgraded stats of the ship. It has a durability that is the same as that of CN Huaqing, which is less than that of the USS Montana. Its speed is the same as that of the JS Yamato Aegis, which is less than that of USS Missouri, but slightly more than that of Montana. Its maneuverability is lower than the other battleships mentioned earlier, except for the Missouri, which has even less. Its radar range is higher than the other battleships mentioned earlier, and it's the first and only battleship currently to have a range that isn't 8 kilometers. Lastly, its sonar range is lower than that of the Montana and Yamato Aegis, but still better than that of Missouri. Like all battleships, this one also has great firepower, and it's thanks to its missiles and main cannon. It comes equipped with 5 missile launchers, 4 of which are customizable, while 1 is locked onto the ship. The locked missile has nearly the same power as its main cannon, and has a decent reload time. It also has the same speed as the Balava, but it is more difficult to intercept because it has more durability, and it fires 4 rounds per attack. However, it may not always land on its target and deal its full damage, especially against small, agile targets, as the missile functions like the locked DF-17 missile on the Chinese submarine Type 100, which releases cluster bombs before impact, rather than striking directly. The ship has only 1 main cannon, but its shot is nearly as powerful as what the main cannons of the Missouri can deliver. When paired with its missiles, this battleship can inflict massive damage that's greater than some of the battleships in the game. Take a look at how much damage it can rack up with them. For comparison, here's how much other battleships can accumulate. As you guys saw, its power is slightly greater than that of USS Montana, which is pretty impressive, especially since Montana is one of the few battleships currently in the meta. As for its anti-submarine capability, it's practically non-existent, making it an easy victim for submarines. You can, of course, equip it with anti-submarine missiles to compensate for this weakness, but keep in mind that doing so may reduce its effectiveness against surface ships. The survivability of this ship is good enough for a battleship. It has a durability that is the highest for a battleship, allowing it to hold up against relentless assaults. On top of that, it has electronic warfare as its advanced consumable, making it even harder to damage the ship with missiles alone. It also has a great anti-air capability, as it's equipped with 13 air defenses, which is a lot for a battleship. However, most of these air defenses are locked onto the ship, with only 2 being customizable, which leaves little room for improvement in its anti-air capability. These locked air defense systems perform decently overall and can effectively damage aircraft while easily intercepting some missiles. Unfortunately, its agility is the problem of its survivability. While it has decent speed, its maneuverability is poor, making it challenging to evade enemy fire or reposition effectively during engagements. This ship can fight at any range thanks to its outstanding missile firepower and accurate cannon, but I would still recommend avoiding long range because, with its size and speed, you're an easy target. You may be able to deal damage with your missiles, but small, agile ships will likely hit you so frequently with all their weapons that you might not realize that your HP is depleting faster than theirs. You should only engage in long-range combat if your enemy has no vision of you. This way, you can safely deal damage and eliminate your target. Also, since this is a battleship, use it as a support ship. Stay close to your teammates and help them push back opponents with its incredible firepower. I've heard many players say you should treat it like a cruiser because it relies on missiles, but I disagree. First, cruisers typically excel in both support and offense, whereas battleships, including this one, typically excel primarily in support. Second, its agility don't support a cruiser-like playstyle. Lastly, while the ship does rely on missiles, it also depends on its main cannon, since it has the combined power of Missouri's main cannon. The ship literally has a firepower that is greater than Montana. Relying solely on its missiles wastes that advantage and limits the ship's potential in battle. An example of battleships that can be played like a cruiser is the Issakoff and the Massachusetts. Both have the agility for that playstyle and rely heavily on their missiles and other weapons due to their weak main cannons. Kronshtadt, on the other hand, lacks these traits, so it can't be used like a cruiser. There is a concern of the locked missile getting intercepted easily due to its slow launch speed. This is very evident when you engage in close-range combat, but you can mitigate this problem by deploying the locked missile alongside the other missiles to make interception more difficult. Use the first missile slot to bait your opponent into using their countermeasures, then follow up with the second slot missile along with the locked missile. This way, your missile is more likely to hit the target. Here is my build for RF Kronshtadt, if you guys are interested in it. For the missiles, I used the Type 17 SSM. I didn't use the BrahMos 2 as my main missile for this ship, because I believe it needs a fast reloading missile to create an opening for the locked missile to reach and hit the target. This may prevent the ship from reaching the same damage output I demonstrated earlier, but it will also increase the damage per minute of this ship. If you're willing to spend more, you can go for the Atmaka, which has a much shorter reload time than the Type 17 but is weaker. For air defense, I simply use the Garpin, which comes standard with this ship. Upgrading to another air defense isn't worth it, as it won't significantly enhance the ship's anti-air capability. Besides, the Garpin is already a decent option, making other upgrades unnecessary. For the helicopter, I use the Phenom as usual since its 2 aviation reserves allow me to deploy it twice during battle, giving me a strategic advantage. Here are the advantages and disadvantages of the ship. Overall, it's a good ship, but I'll let you guys decide on this one whether it's worth it or not. I actually enjoyed using it because, unlike most battleships, it can deal massive damage with both its missiles and main cannon at the same time. I know there is another battleship that also has that, which is the USS New Hampshire, but I haven't tried it out in actual battle yet, ever since it received its 2x2 missile slot. The last time I used it, it only had a 1x2. But even with a ship like that already existing, the Kronshtadt is more interesting because of its 5th missile. However, while I enjoyed using it, I also hate it, because of its lack of anti-submarine capability and its poor maneuverability. You're left hoping someone on your team will take down the submarine, but even trying to escape from them is challenging because of its poor maneuverability. So if you don't mind its price and drawbacks and just want to have fun being a menace against surface ships, it might be worth acquiring, but if you're not a fan of dealing with those downsides, it may not be worth considering for you. Now, I'll leave you guys a video of the gameplay of the ship for you guys to see how it performs in battle, and that'll be it for today's video. Hopefully you guys like it, and if you all did, please leave a like and subscribe to support me. Thank you so much for watching.
All hands prepare for battle.